What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning.
Good morning.
Just in time. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the first airplane of the day. Martinair / KLM Cargo flight 6161 going to Miami, Florida. Boeing 747-400. The PHCKA. And this airplane is 21 years old. Began flying for the first time in March 2003. Firefighters in the background making their round. They haven't passed by us yet, so they will do that in a moment. Let's take a listen. And we're off to a good start. A very good morning to each and everyone. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday. As you guys can see, it is overcast, although visibility on ground level is nice. This is looking to the north. This is looking to the east. And back to the south, where the firefighters are coming our way. Pilot Sander in the far right of your screen, also present, making compilation videos, or at least the raw footage for one of his compilation videos. Now the third one has gotten a little behind.
A little bit late.
Hurry up, mate. Alrighty. German Airways Embraer 190 KLM flight 1545 going to Leeds has just taken off. Now, one of our regular viewers, Jindrosek, is also here with his son, so if you hear some people chatting in the background, they're standing here next to me, also taking photos and chatting a little bit. Our next airplane, hey, interesting. Pressed on the wrong label. This is no SkyTeam livery, that is next. This is a regular KLM livery, KLM flight 1473 going to Glasgow, 737-800, 23 years old, first flight June 2000, the PHBXG. Now, Paul Paul is celebrating 10 months of membership. Paul, thank you so much for your continued support, mate. Hope you still like it in the lounge, and if you don't, do let me know what needs to be improved and see if I can fix it. Thank you so much for your continued support, Paul. Hope that you will stay in the lounge for many more months to come, but if not in the lounge, then hopefully you will continue to be a frequent visitor. Now, in terms of wind, there is a little bit of wind blowing from the west-northwest. Was a bit in a hurry and did not check the meter in detail, but it feels like the wind is coming from over here somewhere. Wind speed on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. Parallel departures are in progress. Center runway also being used for departures, as we've gotten used to. And in the meantime, over here we have KLM flight 987 in the SkyTeam livery going to London City, and Embraer 190, not too heavy. This airplane is 11 years old, had its first flight in April 2012. And the first two of the three firefighters have just passed on the other side of the runway. Looks like we'll have to wait a little bit for our next airplane to arrive. In the meantime, I did see Gary the Grebe already. Donald and Daisy are still sleeping in, as the ducks are used to doing. Chris and Curtis, however, are already grazing, having breakfast. Third vehicle of the firefighters. Massive vehicle. And the first E2 Embraer is making its way over to the threshold by the looks of it. Going to Hamburg, KLM flight 1779. Carmelici's celebrating a month of membership, and he writes, "Hello everyone from Venice, Italy. Ciao Carmelici, thank you so much for your support there, mate. Hope you still like it in the lounge. And a very good morning to you too, and to everybody else who has joined already. Outbound to Hamburg, this is KLM flight 1779, E2 Embraer. 2-year-old airplane. Celebrating its second birthday this month in March. I see that there are a lot of people in the chat already. So unfortunately I won't be able to say hello to everyone personally, but a very good morning. Moderators, Tiger, Rick, Austrian Wolf. Good to see you all, hope all is well. Han, goedemorgen. Captain Eddie Bos and Adrian, good morning. Mr. Donnelly, good to see you again. Jerry, hope all is well. There are a few droplets falling right now. Also, when I was coming over here, driving over here, 2 moments with a few droplets. It is set to get dry later in the day, and even a little bit of sunshine is expected. Well, haven't seen the sun just yet. First see, then believe. Luckily, those droplets don't amount to anything substantial. And a very big congratulations to Mr. Master, turning 43. Man, you're old. Congratulations, buddy. Up next, coming our way, going to Gdansk in Poland, is KLM flight 1917, Embraer 175. 7 years old already, first flight May 2016. Mr. Master has officially become an old fart today. 43, man. Happy that that is still 1 year and what is it, 5 months away for me. What's it like to be so old already, Rick? Is it different from being 42? Shall I walk? Shall I swim? Walking or swimming? My white balance, my auto white balance seems to be a little bit off guard. There we go. Did not flip back to the normal white balance after filming the Coot. Made it a bit more blue than it actually is. EasyJet flight 24072 outbound to Venezia, Venice. Eleven-year-old A320. Philippopoulos is saying, boy, did you read Suriname Airways is going to stop flying the end of this month? Well, sooner even, I believe the 24th already, so still 8 days to see the A340, and then it is back to A330s, I believe, or at least one A330. Over there, the main platform area, we can see the Cathay Pacific A350 1000. Peter says Cargolux Italia Boeing 747 to Milan is rolling. Okay, that's good to know. We'll probably take off from the center runway, but good to know that it is underway. Yeah, at the threshold of the Kaagbaan. E2 Embraer with the 1700 E-Jet sticker. At the front part of the livery, not quite legible with all that digital zoom. KLM flight 1253 going to Nice. Oh yeah, Jackie is also taking off. Wasn't it to Billund, if I recall correctly? I have to keep our eyes open, see if maybe we can spot him. 12:20, is that the time of departure? Right, in the meantime, more Embraers. KLM flight 1533 going to Teesside or Darlington in a moment. An Embraer 190 that is 14 years old. First flight was in September 2009. There's another Embraer 190 from BA also coming this way, going to London City. I also see some bigger jets on the move. Big picture wise, this is what it looks like. I spy with my little eye bits of blue in the sky. So that's the first time that we've seen that over here.
In a while.
That is promising. Now the BA Embraer 190 is coming this way. In the meantime, also a parallel departure from center. Air France A321 going to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Blue in the sky is KLM indeed, Rick. And I'm pretty sure that it won't be long before we are going to see the next KLM airplane take off to the sky. In fact, there is a 737-800 coming to Polderbaan, going to Manchester. Let's see, the Embraer is holding short there. Why is that? Let me look around. Don't see any pickup trucks. Off the bird control. on the tarmac. So it doesn't look like there's something happening in terms of runway checks. Firefighters have returned to the station in the meantime. Still holding short there, and I'm wondering why, because you cannot see any any vehicles on the runway from where we are standing over here. On either side of the runway everything seems to be clear, so if anybody is listening in on ATC and has heard anything, do let us know in the chat what's going on. That is Sun Express, or is it? Yeah, that's Sun Express. Interesting. Also, cyclists. Spring is in the air, and the cyclists are back on the cycling path. Oh, and now there is a bird control vehicle further up ahead visible. Is it going to begin with its inspection, or... Huh.
Looks like a follow me truck.
Hadi Roodhog, good morning, goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Well, yeah, firing off some rounds. Poof. And now he starts inspecting by the looks of it. Okay. Interesting. Wat is dat?
Someone took it down.
Huh? Well, in the meantime, as you guys could see, there is a queue forming, so better hurry up with the inspection. Indeed, maybe K2 is looking for K3. Where are you? Vacating, or turning back, or no, taking an exit. K2 butt shot in the making? Question mark? Yeah, I think it is now. It's now off the runway, so we'll probably see movement over there.
Yep.
Alright. BA flight 8496 going to London City, lining up right now. Embraer 190, short range, 14 years old, first flight January 2010. Couple of more narrow bodies in the meantime queuing up behind this airplane. Seems that all airplanes approaching this part of the runway now are taking off from the threshold. Yeah. Michael reminding us about the 747. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it is lining up right now. So after this departure, we will focus our attention to the 747 that is going to take off from the center runway in a moment. And is lining up there. Alrighty, lining up in the distance on the center runway, going to Luxembourg. No, Milan. Milan Malpensa. Now the number 5 on flight radar. Cargolux Italia. Let's see. There it comes. Cargolux Italia going to Milan, 747-400. This airplane is 16 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in July 2007. Grazing through the clouds. Alrighty, coming up next, back to normalcy, KLM Flight 1167 737-800 going to Helsinki, Finland. A 4-year-old airplane that had its first flight in December of the year 2019. Time for the big birds. Up next, KLM Flight 601 on its way to LAX. 787-10 Dreamliner. 4 years old, first flight October 2019. Okay, gear up. Or are you? Okay. Well, the question is it going to go to LAX? Or is this a malfunction and is it going to go back after dumping fuel? Let us know, because we are soon going to lose track of this airplane due to clouds. If anybody is listening in on ATC, do let us know what's going on. I think I'm going to lose it any moment now. Maybe it'll reappear somewhere over there. Right, well, I think we won't be able to see the Dreamliner again. If anybody is listening in on ATC and something is being mentioned, do let us know in the chat. I'm sure we're all curious to hear what is going on. Top of the morning, Evan. Evan says, I guess it's not coming to the West Coast anytime soon. Well, that remains to be seen. Very curious. Either way, going to London Luton, A320, EasyJet. Nice lighting. And good morning to Donzelli, Harry, Frank, Kelly, Lois, all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. Welcome to the show. Departures from Polderbound today. And Steven Seagal also back. There were a lot of snails already. Well, or maybe... Now I don't know who's who. They're hard to discern. Sally and Steven. Next up, Aer Lingus, going to Dublin, Ireland. Shamrock flight 603, A320. Sweet sound as it passed by. 19 years old already. The first flight of this airplane was in the year 2004 in June. Rick is already signing off, celebrating. Go easy on the birthday cake, mate. Enjoy the day. See you on the next one. KLM flight 1485 already lined up, ready to go to Humberside in a few moments. Embraer 175, 6 years old, first flight January 2018. 8X says that the Dreamliner to LAX in the meantime is flying above the North Sea. Is it continuing to its climb? If it is making speed and altitude, then the gear must have been overheated and has been retracted in the meantime, which is the most likely cause, of course, for what we saw, but you never know. Love you too, Rick. Hey, that's a good question, Frank. Me and Jendrosek were also wondering. The orange flags. Yeah, we thought it was a crime scene, maybe. Murders taking place over at the Polderbaan. Trespassers getting shot with flare guns by the bird controllers. The honest question is, we have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Sally and Steven making a ruckus. There's a lot of food on the tarmac. In Dutch, naaktslakken. Not sure what the English translation for that is, so do help us out if you know the proper translation. But I saw that I forgot to set my quick preset for the zoom. There we go. Streaker snails. We'll go for that. Streaker snails. Trying to get from one side of the cycling path to the other.
Your battery.
Right. A couple of airplanes are coming. The first of which is another Dreamliner going to Colombia. KLM flight 749 outbound to Bogota. 78710 Dreamliner, 4 years old, first flight November 2019. And we also have a KLM A330 coming this way, going to Atlanta, Georgia. And more narrow bodies, although I do see the first Air Baltic also coming this way, outbound to Riga, flight 618. First up, the two heavies, or maybe one of the narrow bodies is going to skip ahead of the Delta, but looking on flight radar they seem to be a bit further back, so I think it's two heavies first and then three narrow bodies. KLM flight 749 outbound to Bogota, 78710 Dreamliner up first. Hey, JD, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Glad you could make it. Hope all is well. Landslug is the right translation. Thank you so much, Renee, for chiming in. Landslugs. Did not know that. In Dutch, literally translated, it is naked snails. Because they don't have their house. Either way, up next, KLM Flight 623 outbound to Atlanta, Georgia, Airbus A330-300, the PH8KD, 11 years old, first flight March 2012, and it's coming. Here we go. That could be Frank. Frank is suggesting that those orange markers may indicate spots where gopher traps are placed in the ground. That seems to make sense. Slowest retracting landing gear in the game, the A330 and the A340s. Neo's not any faster. Hey Maat, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. I hope that goes for everybody. Enjoying the weekend. Next up, EasyJet flight 22922 going to Bristol. It's an A320, 5 years old, first flight June 2018. It's also a triple taking off, or has just taken off from, no, A330, more A330s from center. And that is the pipeline right now. JD says KLM Flight 601 still heading northwest at 24,000 feet. Well, in that case, the gear must have been retracted by now. So it was probably just overheating. Good to know. So it is coming your way, Evan. Now this little bird is on the way to Bristol. Next up, the first A220 or Bombardier C Series, as they used to be called originally. Air Baltic going to Riga, flight 618. It's the only one airplane behind it. Quiet as a mouse, these airplanes. This one 7 years old already. The first flight was in December 2016. The airplane lining up behind it is an A319 going to London Heathrow. in the meantime, more bits of blue here and there are forming in the sky. Still have to use a magnifying glass to see them, but they're there. Boding well for the rest of the day. Right, BA, flight 429, outbound to London Heathrow. It's an A319, 17 years old, Delta A330 lining up behind it. First flight of this airplane was in December 2006. The Delta A330 we'll see next is going to go to Detroit, Michigan. Parallel departures are in progress. The north-south runways, since the Kaagbaan is closed for maintenance, have been used almost exclusively, and today is no exception. This is Delta Airlines Flight 133 A330-300 outbound Detroit, Michigan, 18 years old, first flight March 2005, and she's coming. Let's look and listen. Also see a glimpse of the second, Air Baltic going to Tallinn in the background. Jörg, good morning. Thank you so much for your kind words. Doing the best I can. Now, after the wake turbulence of the previous airplane has dissipated sufficiently, this Air Baltic A220-300 will be going to Tallinn, flight 858. Newer airplane than the previous one. The other one was 7 years old, this one is 2 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in July 2021. See that Frank is creating some rap lyrics for MC Boy, the plane spotting MC. Right, the next departure is probably going to get loud. It is KLM flight 605 777-300 ER going to San Francisco. 7 years old, first flight May 2016, de PHBVR. Jullie gaan er weer vandoor, heren.
Taking off.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. Was gezellig.
Yes.
Geen memory kaarten of zo verloren.
Nee.
Ja, Mind your step, ja.
Oké, nou zie je volgende week.
Ja, wel gezellig.
Ik ben
Fijn weekend jongens. Mooi, hoi. Stranger says, if you're there tomorrow, well, that's a very big if. Looking at the weather forecast, looks like it's going to get rainy all day. Or at least last time I checked the weather radar 24-hour extrapolation. I think it is going to start raining in the morning and it's going to continue to rain nearly throughout the day, the entire day. So I'm afraid, stranger, that the meetup is probably going to get rain checked, literally and figuratively. Alrighty. Next up, EasyJet going to Edinburgh, flight 23302, A320. 14 years old, first flight made 2009. En goedemorgen, Martin. And all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. Departures from Polderbaan, runway 36 left. Hey Yorkshire, good morning Paul. So what started out as a dark grey day is gradually evolving into lighter grey, even though it is still overcast and even though I don't see any patches of blue sky at the moment looking up and around me. It does look like the clouds are thinning a little. As another airplane is coming this way, going to Copenhagen, KLM flight 1127, 737-800. 24 years old, the first flight was in April 1999, so this is a millennial. Visibility is good below the clouds, as you guys can see, and we are accompanied today by quite a few birds. The entire duck family has awoken. Chris and Curtis Good were also here. I did see Russell at some point. The white-nosed Dreamliner taking off from center. And more Dreamliners taking off over here as well. Dreamliner Exodus going to Cancun in Mexico. This is KLM flight 689. 787-9 Dreamliner mid-size. Version 6 years old, first flight January 2018. Now folks, massive big thank you for the 200 likes. And if you do like what you're seeing but you haven't done so already, consider dropping another like into the pond of likes already. It really helps to spread this content, and be sure to subscribe if you like what you see and want to stay informed of upcoming live streams. To celebrate, I suspect JD just now gifted 5 memberships. JD, thank you so much for that. If you are one of the 5 recipients, don't forget to say Dankeschön to JD for your gifted membership. Be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal whenever you see fit. Use them wise and not necessarily sparingly. They're there for a reason. More Dreamliners to Cancun, damn it! Nice. TUI flight 821. This is 787-8 Dreamliner, also going to Cancun. 9 years old, first flight January 2015. Hey Bart, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again, mate. Now I also went to the barber shop yesterday. Now I'm also standing here with a chilly neck like you the other day. Yeah, speaking about yesterday, apologies folks, I had an appointment at the dental hygienist, but I thought it was in the late afternoon, but it was in the early morning. Unfortunately, by the time I was done there, going out for a stream was no longer possible for me because I also had to be elsewhere later, so my mistake. Was perfect weather for a stream yesterday, but not until I woke up yesterday morning and I saw on my phone that I had to be at the dental hygienist 2 hours later. Did I realize I made a mistake with that appointment. Next up it is 777 time. This is KLM flight 661 going to Houston, Texas. 777-200 ER, 16 years old, first flight April 2007. Stranger, I hope you're right. Rain only from the afternoon onward. We'll check again later. If the weather will allow me to go out, I will go out tomorrow, but I am hesitant to promise anything. On its way to Houston. Again, spring is in the air, which means in the Netherlands cyclists are back on the road. Last couple of weeks, I think since the beginning of March, seen quite a few of them. Now, no airplanes in the immediate vicinity, but there is a light shining in the corner of my eye. We have a runway inspection in progress. Let's have a look. Ooh, there is a CRJ coming this way, but it is still a bit out. Delta A330. Oh, nice. That's a good question, Frank. Is it Houston or Houston? Or is it Houston? Why not Houston? Houston in the Pouston. inbound airplanes, and let's see, there was also an outbound airplane. There we go. A320neo going to Bilbao, Vueling in the 27th Festival de Malaga livery. Is there something special about this one? Just a sticker. Just a sticker. Well, in that case, let's see. Hey, alrighty. Looks like we might be standing at the only runway for departures, are we? Let's have a look, shall we? Right, so Air Traffic Control Netherlands still says that both runways are in use for departures and only the 36 right runway being used for arrivals. This runway 0624, the Kaagbaan, still closed for maintenance until the second half of April. In terms of weather, let me also paste this meter, copy it, I should say. Wind is blowing from the northwest. It is 11 knots, 404. We have a ceiling at 3,200 feet. We also have 10 plus kilometers of visibility below the ceiling. We have few clouds at 2,500 feet, broken clouds at 3,200 feet. The air temperature is 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Celsius. The air pressure is 1,019 hectopascals. No significant changes in the upcoming 2 hours are expected. Now, parallel departures. At the moment still the case. Center still used for departures. I think that the runway inspection now going on will precede the closure of center, making this the only runway again for outbound flights, and that center is then going to be used for arrivals. In the meantime, let's have a look. Another EasyJet taking off, and we could also see the CRJ already coming this way. Delta A330 to Seattle is also coming this way, and this is an A320neo going to Naples, Napoli. EasyJet flight 24232. I did see the bird control vehicle somewhere. Oh no, further to the north. All the way over there. I spy with my little eye an A350 going to Singapore. Singapore Airlines flight 323 outbound to Singapore, A350-900. This airplane is 6 years old. First flight was in July 2017. also a tractor coming my way from the north over the cycling path behind me. Will get louder progressively, so you will pick that up on the mic eventually. And in the meantime, our next airplane taking off to Copenhagen, SAS flight 552, CRJ 900 long range, going to Copenhagen. 6 years old, first flight February 2018, 777. In the meantime, just took off from center. Might get a combo shot, let's see. Maybe. Not as photogenic as I had hoped. Righty, and the next airplane is already on this side of the platform area, making its way over to the threshold. Bird control vehicle in the meantime returning back to our part of the runway section. Delta Airlines flight 143 outbound to Seattle, Washington. It is an Airbus A330-300, 7 years old. First flight was in March 2017. And indeed, Han, a very happy pilot in his sus. Who wouldn't be a happy pilot if you are in your SAS? You have to know that is a Dutch expression. If you're comfortable somewhere, if you're happy, then you say in je sas. SAS. Anyway. Hey, Marissa, also back. It has been a while. Good to see you. Hope all is well. You must have been busy. Now there's another tractor coming from behind. And the Delta is pulling up, coming our way. The Richard is tuning in from ever sunny Rotterdam Zuid. Nice. Send some sunshine over, will you? And a nice example of the usage of the Dutch word sus in proper context is given by Marco, who says, "I'm always in my sus when you are live, boy." Perfect example of the usage of the word sus in Dutch. And there is Gary. He must have an itch or something, because I would have expected him to dive under by now. Still nothing. Is he sick? Is he broken? Okay, whatever. Howdy Niels, goedemorgen. And all other viewers, good morning to you too. Next up is KLM flight 1179 going to Linköping. Embraer 190, 13 years old. Will turn 14 in August this year. Then an Emirates 777-300 coming this way. Flight 146 going to Dubai. Oh, light, which means gymnastics. Well, not so much. Not very steep climb. Hey, good news, Yellard. Air China Cargo 747 will be taking off to China, presumably, from this runway, Polderaan. Before then, Emirates 146 going to Dubai, 777-300 ER. This particular airplane is 9 years old. The first flight was in 2014 in July. Graham Weatherby is tuning in all the way from New Zealand. Good evening, mate. Welcome to the show. Now, if you are new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to other aviation fans such as yourselves. If you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, be sure to subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. If you have a question, feel free to ask. A lot of knowledgeable people over here in the chat, and all of them are friendly. Alrighty, Emirates flight 146 going to Dubai, 777-300 ER, 9 years old. Let's go. Don't confuse the GE90s for the tractor, now passing by right of me. Brake dust. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, next up, the first Queen from Polderaan. We did see Cargolux from the central runway earlier, Cargolux Italia. Here is our first proper departure of a 747. from the right runway. And is that a retro? That is a retro. Ooh, noise. Let's see. That is the beautiful Lot Retro Embraer 175 going to Warsaw. Beautiful airplane. Not too long ago made it a thumbnail. That is an excellent airplane to see. Where is it? Yeah, that's the Retro. Now I'm also getting a PayPal notification of David D'Alessio of a very nice donation via PayPal. Thank you so much, David. I hope you are watching. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Very kind of you. Now, wouldn't be surprised if the Retro would take off first from the entrance to the runway, where we are normally in line with when standing on the other side of the runway. And also a big thank you to JD, who just now gifted 5 more memberships. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say Dankeschön to JD, and if you are a new member, don't forget to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal whenever you see fit. JD, thank you so much for your generosity, and welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. The Lot Retro Embraer is coming first. Lot flight 266, and what a nice combo shot this makes. Queen and Retro Embraer. Going to Warsaw, Embraer 175, 13 years old, first flight April 2010. Let's look and listen. The E2 will also precede the 747. Pixelation of digital zoom doesn't do it justice. Up first, E2 Embraer 195, KLM flight 1583, outbound to Bologna, 2-year-old airplane, first flight October 2021. Now, Alan, thank you so much for gifting a membership just now. Let's see who got gifted the membership. Mark, don't forget to say thanks to Big Al if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Alan, and welcome to Mark. Just remarkably quiet, these airplanes. Next up, Air China Cargo, flight 1040 going to Shanghai. 18 years old this airplane, first flight December 2005. Seems to be a bit smoky. Right, up next, Delta Airlines Flight 161 A330neo outbound to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Relatively new airplane, 1 year old. First flight was in June 2022. Is that the Corendon Max 9 behind it? Or is that the Max 8? That's the Max 9 going to Antalya. Right, now after the wake turbulence has dissipated, this airplane will go to Antalya. Corendon flight 635, Max 9 737. Marco, thank you for your super chat. Donatie voor een goed regenpak. Rain suit, well, thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated, Marco. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. And also Davey celebrating 4 months of membership. Morning all, retro takes limelight from Queen. Indeed it did. Thank you so much for your continued support, Davey. I hope you still like it in the lounge. If you don't, let me know and see if I can fix it. Also, Bogdan just became a member. Thank you so much for your support there, mate. I hope you like it in the lounge. Be sure to use the custom emojis now at your disposal whenever you see fit. Thank you so much for your support there, mate. This is Corendon, flight 635, Max 9, outbound to Antalya. Minister is informing us that there's a Qatar triple being pushed back and will take off from this runway. That is good news. Thank you for that, Marissa. A319 EasyJet going to Manchester. Flight 27853, 14 years old. First flight September 2009. and it is already on the move. Now, I think this has become the only runway for departures right now. Let me double check that after this departure. Looks like we will have a few moments to catch up on things. So yeah, folks, welcome to the show. If you just tuned in, you're watching AMS Live. Departures from the Polderbaan, runway 36 left at the moment to the north. This is looking to the north. It's overcast. Although it was said that later in the day the sun might peep out from behind the clouds. The wind is blowing from the northwest at the moment. This is what it looks like on the scale of chimney smoke. Several birds are in the water. Chris and Curtis Coot. And I believe that Donald and Daisy's family is also still out there. Yeah. Just the bros chilling, or mostly bros by the looks of it. And the pipeline to Polderbaan is empty at the moment, but this is where it will become visible for the first time. Let's see. While we're waiting for the next airplane to arrive, let's also have a look. I saw that Vikram gifted a membership just now. Thank you so much for that, Vikram. And who became the recipient? Jeroen. Well, Jeroen, don't forget to say thanks to Vikram. Vikram, thank you for your generosity. And Jeroen, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. I also saw that Gerard just became a member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, mate. Thank you for your support. Be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal. Use them wisely and royally. Now, let's see. I think, am I caught up? I hope I am. I think I am. Right, so let's have a quick look at the weather then, shall we? Do a refresh of the meter, the weather. Wind, presume predominantly from the northwest, varying a little bit between north and west-northwest. We still have a ceiling at 3,300 feet. Below the ceiling, 10 plus kilometers of visibility. The wind has dropped a little bit, now 8 knots or 3, both 4. And that's also what it says over here. I will show you what it means in a minute once I also paste it in the ticker. Runway usage, yeah. A refresh, we are standing over here. This is the Polderbaan, departures to the north, now the only runway being used for departures. All outbound traffic will pass by us, the runway we are standing next to. The other two north-south oriented runways currently in use for arrivals, and this runway 0624, the Kaagbaan, is closed for maintenance, major maintenance, until the second half of April if things don't get delayed. Now, pasting the weather report in the ticker. Some of you may wonder what it all means. Let me inform you in a moment. Let me also update runway usage. Now 36 left is the only runway for departures, and we can add 36C to the list of runways used for arrivals. Alright, so now the METAR, the weather report, EHAM, that's Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Today is the 16th, and the weather report is from 9:55 Zulu time. Zulu time, or Greenwich Mean Time, is the time of the report that was 15 minutes ago. It starts out with the wind, 8 knots, 330 degrees is where the wind blows from. 300 V360 means that the wind is variable between 300 degrees and 360 degrees. The 49s means 10 plus kilometers of visibility. Few clouds at 2,800 feet, broken clouds at 3,300 feet. The air temperature in Celsius, followed by the dew point, 9 degrees Celsius, that is 48 Fahrenheit. The air pressure in hectopascals is 1020, and no SIG means no significant changes are expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Alrighty, let's have a look. The next airplanes are coming. And the first of them coming this way is United Flight 947 going to Washington. It's going to be followed by an EasyJet, which we can now also see. There's a Delta A330 passing around the threshold of runway center, and that should be there somewhere. Where's the bit? Was it further to the north? No, I believe it was here. It has already passed. Okay, so that means looking for shark fins. The tails of airplanes going around the northern threshold of the center runway. However, now also the airplanes coming this way are becoming visible over there in the distance. So this is the first airplane to come this way. United Airlines Flight 947 going to Washington. Little bit of sunshine in the part in between, all of a sudden lining up. The EasyJet behind it. It's going to get busy. Quite a few airplanes are on the move. Also a 777-300 to Cape Town. And a TUI flight to Curacao being pushed back. Hey, and the A350 to Taipei is also now active on the platform. Not yet pushed back, but that should also come our way pretty soon. Right, the pipeline. There's the Delta A330. Flight 73. BA going to London Gatwick. On the other side, a KLM. That must be the triple going to Cape Town. Can we maybe see? Yeah, that's the 777 going to Cape Town. Meanwhile, our first airplane coming this way. We'll make a left-hand turn, go to the runway threshold. And the A319 is going to Nice, which is nice, and it's going to go first probably. Chris and Curtis are also here. Why walk if you can jump, right? can see that the EasyJet is already coming this way. Good moment to lubricate the throat with a bit of H2O. Now, Barb's, also morning first of all, and thank you so much for your continued support. 9 months of membership, chilling with the best. Thank you so much for your continued support, for your kind words. Always a pleasure to have you on the stream, Barb's. Hope you're going to stay around for many more months to come. If not as a member, then at least as a frequent visitor. Thank you so much, Barb's. Cyclists with their dogs in the luggage carriers. Super awesome. That reminds me of when I was back in Tokyo in 2016, I think it was, or 2017. I was walking somewhere and a woman was walking with a stroller, and I thought surely there must be a baby in it. There wasn't. There was a little Chihuahua dog in it. Thought only in Tokyo. This is United Flight 947 7878 going to Washington DC. This airplane is 9 years old. The first flight was in November 2014. Not sure if you guys are noticing it as well. Last time I was standing here with departures, we had wind from the east. Now it is blowing from the west. I personally hear clearly that the wind is blowing away from us. The departures sound much more muted than they did last time I was standing here with wind blowing towards us. I'm sure you guys will notice it too. Hopefully the sound is still okay. Next up is the Delta A330, or is it? Yeah, no airplanes preceding it. No, nobody is cutting the line. Going to Atlanta, Georgia. Delta Airlines Flight 73, Airbus A330-300, 17 years old. The first flight was in January 2007. And a quick scroll back to highlight the fact that Marco just now gifted 5 memberships. Marco, thank you so much for that. That is very generous of you. If you are one of the recipients of Marco's gifted memberships, don't forget to thank him. Marco, thank you so much. And welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Be sure to use the custom emojis such as the Delta tail whenever you see fit. Delta Airlines Flight 73. Outbound to Atlanta, Georgia. Seppi says, my dad and sister are celebrating their birthday today. Can you say congratulations? Well, congratulations, Seppi's father and sister. Double party. Good day to celebrate your birthday. None other than our own moderator, Rick Meester, also turning 43 today. He has officially become an old fart. And let's see our next airplane over there. BA Euroflyer going to London Gatwick, A320, flight 2541, 21-year-old airplane, first flight May 2002. And Darkish Coffee asks, do you prefer landings on 18 right or departures on 36 or on the 18s or on the 36s? I'm not particularly in favor of either of the two. I think there's something to say for both. What I like is when it's not constantly the same, and that's often the case here. Weeks on end, wind blowing from the same direction, which means that the same runway configuration is used days on end. That can become a bit boring. Now there's absolutely something to be said for going to different locations, but my preference by far is the polderbaan for several reasons. But as long as it's a bit variable, I like it. I think variability is the most important thing for me. And I see that Alan has to go again. Alan, thank you so much for joining. Catch you later, mate. Alright, next up, Lufthansa, flight 989, going to Frankfurt, A319, this one is relatively old, 27 years already. Hey Gerrit, goedemorgen. And departures from this location are excellent indeed. I also like it from the other side at the roundabout at the very beginning of the runway. Although those stupid boxes are constantly in the way. And here you have unobstructed view left to right. That is the upshot. Right, 777 time, going to Cape Town, South Africa, KLM flight 597, 777-300, 8 years old, first flight, February 2016. Frank is on to me. I'm always standing at polderbaan because I'm not allowed to go there to center. What's the word? What's the proper word for it? I know it, but I cannot think of it. Restraining order, that's the word I was looking for. Restraining order for center, which is why I'm always stuck at going to polderbaan. Right. a 737 holding short. Or is it moving? No, it's holding short. Well, no, I don't know for sure. Let's see. No, that's definitely, well, it is moving. It's not moving substantially, it's just inching forward to the runway. Yeah, this is definitely going first now. Vueling, flight 8364, going to Malaga. A320, 5 years old, first flight April 2018 in Air France. An A220, or is it? No, that's an Embraer. For a moment I thought it was one of their A220s. They always sound sweet, don't they? 5 years old, this one. The first flight was in April 2018. Hans' favorite livery with that yellow dot. Morning, Tony, and all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Now, if you look closely, you will see something odd about this livery. Is the previous standard livery of KLM with the straight line from nose to back. This one going to Stockholm, KLM flight 1109. Oh sweet! There's a Kestrel hovering right on the other side of the canal. Right over here, really close relatively speaking. Well, has it got something? I think it has. I think it caught a mouse just now. There goes Mickey. And the focus. Thought I'd switch to autofocus, but better off keeping it on manual. Mickey Mouse just got a flight out of Schiphol Airport. No, it is the A220. Had me confused there for a moment. Air France flight 1341, Bombardier C Series 300 or A220 going to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Guess we won't be seeing the Kestrel anytime soon. It's going to prepare for lunch. Bit early. Also somebody on the other side. Some people. No time to waste. The TUI Dreamliner to Curaçao coming this way. Flight 351, 7878 Dreamliner, 9 years old. This one, the first flight was in March 2015. Right, Heavy's Fest has begun. Qatar Cargo up next. Air Europa. United. KLM. More? Question mark. And an A350 also coming this way. Qatar Cargo, flight 8158, 777, freighter going to Doha. This airplane 13 years old, first flight May 2010. Hey Sarah, morning, good to see you. Hope all is well. Eversteria, goedemorgen. All other viewers as well, good morning. Welcome to the show, hope everybody's doing well. Bit of additional digital zoom. The puff of brake dust. Back to the optical zoom part. Now, big picture wise, it's still overcast as you guys can see. Don't see any bits of blue just yet. However, there are definitely brighter bits in the sky. The sun roughly over there behind the clouds. Next up, Air Europa, flight 1098, going to Madrid, 7879 Dreamliner, 4 years old, first flight February 2020. Wow! Just realized that February 2020 is 4 years ago already. It sounds like it was just yesterday. That's a hallmark of becoming an old fart yourself. Now, Eversteria asked about the duckies. Donald and Daisy brought along the entire family, and we can see Chris and Curtis also visiting. They are there. I did also see Gary the Grebe earlier, although now I don't see him in the immediate vicinity. Right, more Dreamliners. United flight 908 going to Chicago. 7878 Dreamliner, 10 years old, first flight July 2013. Let's see that Phil is also back in the chat. Good morning, Phil. Hope all is well over in Warwick. Good morning to Alan and to Dennis. Oh, and Dominic asks if somebody has 2 spare fingers. His cat opened his when playing. Yeah, you have to be careful with cats. I know from experience. Try putting a cat in a bathtub because it didn't make the water and got all muddy. You try to rinse it off. I think I still have the scars on the inside of my upper legs. This is KLM flight 705 going to Rio de Janeiro, 7879 Dreamliner, 6 years old, first flight March 2018. The Heavy Fest is continuing. QJ asks if I've seen Russell today. I did see him somewhere earlier. Now looking around, not seeing it. Him. But Sally and Steven Seagal were here as well. Gary the Grebe was here. And the Red Pack just got carried away by the Hawk or Kestrel or whatever it was. This is China Airlines flight 74 going to Taipei in China, or at least that's what the Chinese say. This is an A359. 6 years old, first flight June 2017. Grumpy looking plane, yeah. Turn that frown upside down. And crossing traffic in the foreground. And Josephine has a good tip, good advice. Using biker gloves when handling cats in bathrooms, yeah. Protective everything. If you value the integrity of your skin, that is very good advice. Now, the Heavy Fest is continuing, ladies and gentlemen. Another triple up next, going to Sao Paulo. KLM flight 791, 777-300 10 years old, first flight May 2013. The Zodurk says that the Garuda Retro is also taxiing. That's nice. Garuda Indonesia, 777-300 in the Retro livery. Where's that coffee to go that I ordered? There are the seagulls. No, the other way, yeah, that's good. Stay away from those big, sucky, loudy thingies. That doesn't end well. Nice lighting, even though the sun is not out anywhere in the vicinity. The lighting is nice. Austrian Wolf has even better advice regarding cat handling. Use an EOD suit. Seems a bit overdramatic, doesn't it? Although with some cats, it also depends on the size of the cat. Now, big thank you to Stefan, who just became a member. Thank you so much, Stefan. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you for the support. Be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal whenever you see fit. Our first next airplane going to Helsinki will soon disappear in thin air. It is Finnair flight 1302, the A321, 6 years old. First flight December 2017. And another big bird, a couple of smaller birds. Visualization of the pipeline in the background. Alright, the next airplane going to a destination nobody likes to go to. Who wants to go to Toulouse? But there you go, it is going to Toulouse. KLM flight 1303, Embraer 190. 6 years old, first flight February 2018. KLM with a big L. Alrighty, next up, another airplane going to Curaçao, one of the many we've seen before already, a 777-300ER. KLM flight 735 already spooling up. 3 years old this one, first flight December 2020. Ooh, look at this. Bits of blue in the sky. First time they look a bit more substantial, and also a bit further south, southwest of me. Looks promising. Next up, JetBlue A321neo going to Boston. Brand new airplane. Meaning less than a year old. The first flight of this airplane was in May 2023. And also a big thank you to Dominic for your super sticker, a purple cat. Wow! Thank you so much for that nice super chat, super sticker. JetBlue Flight 632 to Boston, here we go. Another 777 up next, as you guys could see in the background. I think there's another heavy coming this way as well, a bit further back to the main platform area. Still a huddle of ducks over there. And it's putting up triple already. No time to waste. Now, this is KLM flight 879 going to Bangalore. 777-200. 18 years old, first flight February 2006. Let's look and listen. Nice growl. Now, up next, it's been a while since we saw it up close. Garuda Indonesia, retro livery, 777 going back to Jakarta, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, yeah, going to Jakarta. Making its way over here, followed by an A330neo going to Boston. More Boston outward traffic. A330 to New York JFK also coming this way. Republic Indonesia. Lovely airplane. We see it a lot over here. For some reason, they fly this airplane to Schiphol more often than the regular standard livery. Now, while we are waiting, I want to say a big thank you to Cargolux, who just now gifted 5 memberships. If you are one of the recipients of the memberships that Cargolux just now gifted, don't forget to say thank you so much. Cargolux, that's very generous of you. Thank you very much for 5 new members to the Aurora Sky Lounge. And be sure to use the custom emojis if you are one of the new members, and if you're already an existing member. Garuda Indonesia going to Jakarta, one of the longest flights from Schiphol, if not the longest. I think, was it one of the destinations in Latin America that was the furthest from Schiphol? Buenos Aires, maybe? I don't know. Either way, here it is. Garuda Indonesia flight 89 777-300ER PKGIG. It's 9 years old and began flying for the first time in August of the year 2014. Let's look and listen. on its way to the land of Captain Edibos and Andean. Hey there Rich, good morning. Still, yeah, 9 minutes of morning left here in mainland Europe. Dominic says, see you in 3 weeks Bali. That's a nice vacation to look forward to. The grey thing on the top, I don't know what you're referring to, but usually protrusions on the top of the fuselage are Wi-Fi humps where Wi-Fi antennas are placed. So probably was that what you were referring to. Now, JetBlue already departed to Boston. Delta now is also departing to Boston. Flight 243, A330neo. 2 years old, first flight March 2022. Would you believe it, the sun is coming out for the first time today. Memorable moment. Very good morning to each and every one of you. First time I can see my shadow. Alrighty, up next, Croatia Airlines in the Star Alliance livery, flight 451 going to Zagreb. It's an A320, 20 years old. Its first flight was in February of the year 2004. And Jackie is boarding in a few minutes. You were on the flight to Billund, if I recall correctly, right, Jackie? Are you sitting on the left-hand side? 3A, wasn't it? That is the left-hand side, the very front. What is the flight number? See that Mr. Cole is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Lance. Hope all is well. Blackburst also in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Well, it was short-lived. Back to the monotony of shadowlessness. One moment it was there, and the other it is gone. Still quite a queue over there, further out. Bird controller now also interfering by the looks of it. Quick walk back to the laptop to say a big thank you to Dominic, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Dominic, for your support and for your generosity. If you are one of the new members, courtesy of Dominic, don't forget to thank him. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. This is KLM flight 1613. We have a light narrow body snack, appetizer if you will, in between the heavies. 737-900 outbound to Istanbul. Already 22 years old, this airplane. Then flying in the year of 9/11, September 2001. 22 years ago already. Thank you, Marissa. The flight to Billund. KLM flight 1345. We'll have to have a look at the front left side of that airplane. Our moderator, Jackie, going to Billund, if I recall correctly, to get a birthday present for his son. That Airlines flight 49 going to New York JFK, passing by in a moment. A330-300. "17 years old, this airplane, first flight March 2007. Right, need to update the ticker because we are now once again in the stage of parallel departures. Also, tractor still going back and forth over here. And bird controllers also parading. Like a stoic looking ahead of him. That's okay. Next up, British Airways. Going to London Heathrow, A320, flight 431. The airplane is 10 years old. The first flight was in February of the year 2014. And ladies and gentlemen, members, you can already see what time it will be in a few moments. Red alert, get out the emoji. Today we can leave the butt shot emoji behind though. Playtime, it will be soon enough. Rich, I don't know about the Queens. We did see one depart. I'm not sure. I think there might be another one coming pretty soon, but it might also take off from center. It might also get delayed. Looking on the departures list this morning before 1 p.m. I saw two. We already saw one, so I'm not sure about the other one. It's always a bit difficult when you're filming outbound traffic. The 747s are all exclusively cargo airplanes and they almost never adhere to their schedule that is published on the website of Schiphol Airport. A320neo going to Reykjavik, flight 461. It is playtime, ladies and gentlemen. Do see some text between the emojis. Damon, thank you for your kind words. Greetings back to South Wales. Right. The next airplane is already spooling up. No time to waste. Another heavy hitter going to Lima in Peru. KLM flight 743 777-200 20 years old, first flight November 2003. The same growl as with that other 200. Lovely. Yes, Harry is also back. Just did a flyby to the south now, behind me. Bird controller also passing by to the south. Now where is Harry? Did see him fly by, but I did not see him land, so I don't know where he is. Harry the Heron. Grüß dich, Mani, who is from Germany. Herzlich willkommen. This is KLM flight 1011, a binary flight number going to London Heathrow 737-700, 14 years old, first flight January 2010. Now, there it is. Moving, coming towards us, CRJ 900 from SAS, no, Nordica behind it. Different shade of blue. K3 blocking our view temporarily, luckily only briefly. It's opening up, as you guys can see, more blue here and there in the sky. It's not going very quickly, but it is definitely opening up. Next up is SAS Nordica, operated by X-Fly. Now I'm confused. Flight 558 going to Stockholm. It's a CRJ 900 ER, 13 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in January of the year 2011. Thank you for your kind words, Bastiaan, who says, first time I see this live stream and already I'm loving it. Well, hartelijk welkom. Welcome. And thank you for your kind words. I hope everybody is enjoying what they're seeing. Parallel departures have resumed again, which means I will have to update the ticker. Might as well have a look at the weather as well. We're waiting for traffic to come this way, and yeah, don't see anything in the immediate vicinity just yet. So runway usage has changed once again in favor of parallel departures. We are standing over here, center runway now also being used for outbound traffic. Inbound traffic only goes to 36 right at the moment. The weather, let's do a refresh. This meter gets updated twice an hour. Wind is still blowing from the northwest. Has increased again. Last time it was 8 knots, now it has increased again to 10 knots or 304. We still have a ceiling has been varying between 3,200 feet and 3,500 feet, which means that at that point we are going to lose sight of the traffic. Copy pasting for some reason. Stupid computer. Bit troublesome at times. We have few clouds at 2,200 feet below the ceiling, 10 plus kilometers of visibility, the 9999. Temperature 9 degrees Celsius, that is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. No significant changes expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Let me update the weather in the meter and also update runway usage so that the ticker is once again fully current. Based updates. Departures 36 left and 36C. Arrivals just 36 right. Alrighty. Also a big thank you to Roadhog, who just now gifted a membership. If you're the recipient of the membership, don't forget to say thank you to Roadhog. And be sure to use the custom emojis now at your disposal, Roadhog. Thank you, dankjewel, for your kindness. Now, airplanes are on the move, on the platform. There's some movement over there. Big ass bird control vehicle passing in the foreground. Our next airplane is going to be an airplane I have never seen before. I hope it will have this livery. Going to Toronto in the Disney Wish livery. That's a channel premiere. Air Canada Flight 809 has turned around the southern threshold of the center runway. ITA is going to the center runway, Turkish as well. Daarom, I don't know yet. ITA A320 to Rome, approaching the threshold of 18 center. Joel also back in the chat. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. And Arya is tuning in from Indonesia. Good day to you. Good evening, I should say. Welcome to the show. And our favorite dickhead, the ultimate, is also in the chat. Alvin, good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Hope you've had a good day. Marissa says I'm also going to 36C. Yeah, that was to be expected. I'm also not very hopeful. Well, I am hopeful but not optimistic, I should say, about Jackie's flight. Billund also a little bit eastish. Might as well also take off from center in a moment. Is it on the move already? Is it on flight radar already? Don't see it yet. 12:20 was the ETA, the estimated time of departure, right? All is well, had a great day, hope you're good too. Well, that's always good to hear, Alvin. Over here, a bit chilly with the wind. If you have some excess sunshine and warmth over there down under, don't be afraid to send it our way. Let's distribute it a bit more evenly. No, I'm good here. Leg muscles are starting to get a little sore. Went to the gym yesterday evening, so the delayed onset muscle soreness is slowly but surely creeping in, but that's okay. Was to be expected after not having been there for a week with the yard work, the garden work last week and all. It is also slowly but surely looking a bit better here. Although this is on the wrong side, it has to be between me and the sun. The sun is on the other side in the sky, somewhere over there, I think. but it is definitely opening up a little bit, as you guys can see. In the meantime, center is a bit more heavily used for departures. Tarom in the SkyTeam livery, as you guys can see, going to Bucharest. Triple 7 on the move to Guangzhou. That is a likely candidate for this runway. Turkish A330 is now lining up on center. Flight 1952. Also hearing Chris Coot behind me. There's the special livery from Air Canada. Channel Premier. Hope it still looks like it did on the picture on Flight Radar just now. There is the A330 Turkish. Flight 1952 going to Istanbul. Nice combo shot with the tower. Now, Ian, hope you're watching. Ian McPherson, I just received a PayPal notification from a very generous donation. Thank you so much for that, Ian. I hope you are watching and can hear me say thank you. There's the special livery Air Canada. Yeah. Does look like it says on the tin on Flight Radar. Channel Premier. Disney Wish livery. Let me also engage image stabilizer because it is getting a little bit bumpy here. Air Canada Flight 809 will be taking off to Toronto in a moment. 7879 Dreamliner. Indeed, Frank, it is about to take off with all the buddies, friends and guys on board. I see that Jen Drosek is also in the chat. Good to see you again, mate. He was here earlier. next to me with his son. And from a distance it does look a little bit like Chucky. It even has the raccoon look or bank robber look windows. Not the best spot to see all the details in the livery. Try to stay zoomed in a little bit to focus in on them a little, but they should really just taxi this way, stop for a moment for a photo op, and then take off. Channel first, Disney Wish livery. And that was, for now, the one and only airplane. There is another airplane coming. In fact, here it is. The China 777, China Southern Cargo. In the meantime, taking off from center. No, I have image stabilizer enabled, dynamic image stabilizer, which should mitigate vibrations the most, and thus far I see it doesn't do that well of a job compared with not using image stabilizer. In that case, if I have to choose, I prefer using no image stabilizer for more direct control, even if it means when being extremely zoomed in you will see a bit more shakiness. Now let's see, this is where we should see our next airplane taxi towards us. That is the China, no, that's not it. The wing, yeah, and that engine, that's the airplane. China Southern Cargo, going to Guangzhou, that's our next airplane. Now, let's see, the 777 to Mumbai is going to center. Embraer 175, KLM 737, Air Mexico flight 25, also on the platform, still has to get pushed back. Delta flight 37 to Orlando, that is one for us. (737) to Bergen, coming to 36 left. Okay, so maybe then Jackie will come to this runway as well with his flight. Sure hope so, would be nice. Plenty of airplanes moving on the platform. Not a lot coming to us just yet. But stuff is underway. First up, this triple. China Southern Cargo flight 2580 going to Guangzhou. And the windshock in the foreground indicating us what the wind is like. Pointing the camera to the south eastish a little bit, more to the south now. So you could see that the wind is still from the northwest. Jackie's flight is delayed, gate still closed. What the F? Thought I was hearing a tractor behind me, but I wasn't. I'm hearing a triple take off from center. .200 crawling away. Right, China Southern Cargo up next, flight 2580, 777 freighter going to Guangzhou in China. This airplane is 14 years old. The first flight was in October 2009. Right, the sun seems to be back over there. Hopefully it will shine over here as well pretty soon. Is that Iberia Express? I think it is. Yeah, that is Iberia Express. Right, Donald and Daisy seem to be coming this way. The rest of the family, though, they are leaving behind. They are eloping. Oh, and Gary in the foreground over here. Where is he? There you go. Yeah, doing what groups do best, diving under as soon as you point the camera towards them. Another heavy taking off over there from center, and we have a narrow body coming our way. Going to Bergen, KLM flight 1185, 737-800. Sun is creeping out from behind the clouds. At least it's trying. Ah, and there is Gary. Good old Gary. Might re-emerge anywhere on either side. You never know with grebes. They're good underwater swimmers. I think I'm hearing whale sounds. Is that an E2? Yeah, that is an E2 coming this way. There's Gary. Underwater swimming were an Olympic sport, grebes should definitely compete. Going to Dublin, E2 Embraer, we heard the whale sounds, or at least I did. I'm not sure if you guys heard it as well due to the directionality of the microphone. Flight 935, E2 195, 3 years old. And greetings to Joseph, who is tuning in from the Czech Republic. Welcome to the show, mate. And all other viewers who might have joined just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. Over here, the sun is trying to get out from behind the clouds on a mostly overcast day with wind from the northwest. Parallel departures to the north. This runway 36 left, 1 of 2 now. Center runway also being used for departures, and the 36 left is used for arrivals. Up next, Embraer 175 going to Inverness, KLM flight 929. 7-year-old airplane, first flight July 2016. Right, EasyJet A320neo to Liverpool up next. Flight 23442. The Gusup GUZHP. This airplane is 5 years old. The first flight was in November 2018. After this airplane, we are switching it up again, going to the wide bodies. The next airplane after this one, KLM flight 757, a 787-10 Dreamliner going to Panama City. Delta Airlines flight 37 also coming this way. Sandwiched in between are 2 Embraers, an Embraer 175 to Cork and an E2 Embraer to Prague. Thomas is tuning in from sunny Scotland. Are you trying to make us jealous here, mate? No, I saw this morning looking at the satellite footage that the whole of, well, most of the United Kingdom was basking in sunshine already. Us here in the Netherlands not so lucky today, although it is a bit significantly bit brighter now than it was at the beginning of the stream in the early morning, it has to be said. Was said that the clouds were going to break a little and the sun would have a bigger chance to come out as the day progressed. Well, it's definitely opening up, but it is going very slowly. Here and there, a few rays of sunshine. And another departure from center. Is that an E2 or is that? Yeah, that is. Oh, that's an E2 to Prague. I thought that that one was going to our runway, but in hindsight it would have been crazy. Or not crazy, illogical. Destination to the east, why not use the easternmost runway for departure? So it is just the Embraer 175 to Cork that is going to be sandwiched in between the now next airplane on this runway, the 787-10 Dreamliner to Panama City, and then the Delta A330 to Orlando, Florida. Manager is informing us that the 787 to Austin is also on the move. Last time I checked, Texas was still west of the Netherlands, so also a likely candidate to take off from our runway. Hey, and there is a... oh no, that's an arriving 747 that I see on flight radar. Right. In the meantime, lining up KLM flight 757, and obviously not a Boeing 757, the running gag of KLM. Going to Panama City, 787-10 Dreamliner. 4 years old, first flight January 2020. I might see the... is that the Kestrel? Well, it is helicopter bird, so the answer is yes. He must have dropped Mickey off at his destination, Mickey Mouse, and is looking for new passengers to taxi back and forth over the airport terrain. Frank is informing us that the A380 is inbound for 36 right. Where is it? Let's see. How far out is it? Oh, it's now number 2. Let's see if we can pick it up. The A380. Don't get your hopes up too high. We will be able to see it, but it's probably only very vague. The lighting seems to be helping a little bit. Emirates flight 147, number 9 on flight radar. A380 800 returning from Dubai. Flight time 6 hours 51 minutes. Normally speaking, at this point in the sky, they would have flown around 6.5 hours, so it must have had a little bit of headwind today. KLM, Embraer in the foreground. Taking off. This particular A380 has 9 years of service under its belt. Began flying in December 2014. Looks pixelated now because I'm nearly using all of my digital zoom to get it in as close as I can with the least distortion I can. Going back to the top end of optical zoom, this is what it would look like. Our next airplane is also coming this way, as you guys can see. Wind once again picking up momentarily, luckily. Calming down again a little. Let's see what we can see of a landing on 36 right. I think here we're going to lose it. With all the buildings and the terminal building being in the way. Yeah. That's it. That's all I can show you from over here. Alrighty, now let's see. Delta is coming this way. Schiphol is taking off from center. Let's pick that up for a moment. Going to Delhi, KLM flight 871. In the meantime, we are well, are you boarding now, Jackie? (12:35), KLM flight 12:35, going to Billund. Issues with my chat once again. Let's see. For crying out loud. Let's see, am I now? Okay, seems to be in order again. Okay. Alrighty. Tried scrolling on my phone to read chat messages, and that's always a bad thing. 9 out of 10 times the chat window freezes and doesn't update anymore, which was happening just now. I think it is working again. Seems to be in sync with what I can see on my laptop screen. This is Delta Airlines flight 37 going to Orlando, Florida. A330-300. Nine years old, first flight January 2015. Right. Jackie, are you on the Embraer 190 that has now just been pushed back? Let's see. Not seeing Jackie's flight on flight radar just yet. If I recall correctly, I did see in the chat that it was confirmed for 36 left, so our moderator Jackie taking off to Billund shortly and sitting on the front of the airplane, row A. This Embraer 175 is going to go to Gdansk in Poland. KLM flight 1919. Alrighty, E2 Embraer, ready to go to Aalborg, KLM flight 1333. This airplane is 2 years old. The first flight was in November 2021. Right, 36C closed. That is good news. So for now, this is the only runway for departures then. Oh, looks like it's on fire with the sun reflecting in the shiny bits of the livery. Beautiful. E2 Embraer to Aalborg, quiet as a mouse most likely as it passes us by in a moment. Righty. Next up, Transavia. The Transavia airplane flying for KLM. Going to Göteborg, KLM flight 1155. And a Dreamliner to Houston, no, to Austin up next. Also a massive big thank you to Bernd for your super sticker. Shiva Dog clapping his hands. Very kind of you, Bernd. Thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. Next time we will watch again from the couch. Delano is in the 777 to Houston. Just started boarding. What time is the departure expected to take place? I was actually thinking about wrapping up after Jackie has departed. Or thereabouts. Delano says we should be getting pushed back in 15. Yeah, so probably around the same time, 1:15 or so departure. Should be able to catch that one as well. And indeed, Jelle, I'm talking English, but I am from the Netherlands. Well, the sun is out on that part of the runway. Seems to have skipped this part. That's a pity. Right, off to Austin, Texas. KLM flight 667, 7879 Dreamliner, 7 years old, first flight June 2016. Uh, 36 Center now open for arrivals, says Marissa. Duckfest 2024 in the meantime, full in progress. Chris and Curtis don't give an F. They're just chilling in the grass, eating a bit, grazing, looking down on those crazy ducks. Right, another airplane off to Paris Charles de Gaulle in a moment. KLM flight 1233. 737-800, 4 years old, first flight April 2019. Indeed, the coots don't give a duck. That is absolutely right, Jimmy. Right. So Delano will be departing soon too. Are you on the left-hand seat, man? That, of course, would be the icing on the cake. If we could also see your flashlight, perhaps. And Teun doesn't understand a word I'm saying. He says, I think this is the Netherlands. I also don't speak English, Dutch in the United States. Well, give it a try. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, pay more attention in class during English lessons. Anyway, Iceland Air up next, Max 8 going to Reykjavik, flight 507, 5-year-old airplane, first flight June 2018. Is Jackie on the move already? Has he been pushed back? And Dilana, remind me again what flight number you are on? Was it Delta? Hey, Cathay Pacific also on the move. The A350-1000 going to Hong Kong. Is that all? Yeah, no, this is right about to take off. Was thinking about panning to the left to the northern threshold of the center runway. Seat K5, right hand side. Is there a possibility you can switch to an A seat? Also help me remind what flight you are on, what flight number, and was it Delta or KLM? A300, 600 to Madrid, also on the move. DHL. Very fortunate timing. The closure of the center runway is going to get a bit more busy. As you look, if you have a look on Flight Radar, you can see all kinds of airplanes are now taxiing around the center runway. They're all coming this way. The Cathay Pacific A350 1000 also coming this way. United 777, thanks Wolfgang. And it was to Houston, wasn't it? Right. It's getting busy on Flight Radar on the platform. I was trying to see if I can see Jackie's flight already. But I couldn't. Maybe you can. KLM 737 in the SkyTeam livery outbound to Lisbon. And now the sun is shining over here as well, temporarily, expectedly. KLM flight 1695. Let's see, 22 years old. Alrighty, our next airplane is already coming this way, going to Stavanger, Embraer 175, KLM flight 1201. Jackie flashes a light and the airplane is passing us by like this airplane just now did. It's going to be very damn hard to see the light. Let's see. Judy is signing off. Thank you for joining, Judy. See you on the next one. Sleep tight. And thank you for joining. Mike Wild, good afternoon, mate. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Now, very early take off. Going to Norwich. What the duck. Already quite high, as you guys can see. Is Jackie already on the move? It's now 1 o'clock, right? Right. A320neo. Holding short a little bit, going to Tenerife. Is there something going on? No, it is lining up. Right. EasyJet flight 27883 going to Tenerife, A320neo. Brand new airplane. First flight June this year. No, last year. Embraer 190 in the background going to Edinburgh, and there's an airplane going to Copenhagen. Should also be 777 somewhere in the background that will be going to Narita. Now, in the meantime, I saw that Wolfgang just now gifted 5 memberships. That is totally unnecessary, Wolfgang. You're doing more than enough as it is already as a moderator, but thank you so much. Probably because of 600 likes. Thank you all so much for the 600 likes in that case. If you are one of the recipients of Austrian Wolf's gifted memberships, don't forget to say Dankeschön, Wolfgang. And be sure to use those custom emojis. They're there for a reason. On the scale of chimney smoke, this is what the wind currently looks like. However, there's no time to waste. The airplanes are coming this way in rapid succession. Embraer 175 going to Copenhagen, now on its way. KLM flight 1129. 8-year-old airplane, first flight March 2016. Jackie is on his way towards us. Our moderator Jackie on board the KLM to Billund, seat 3A. Pretty sure he will be shining a light. I hope that the airplane will not take off from the threshold but from the first exit or entrance. which means later rotation point, which means we might get to see him before he's already well in the sky as he passes us by. Growling 777-200ER KLM flight 861 going to Tokyo Narita, 19-year-old airplane, first flight January 2005. Let's look and listen. Now, we've seen them land frequently enough on Saturdays, but I cannot remember the last time that we saw one take off right in front of our very eyes, up close. It's a DHL A300-600, this one going to go to Madrid in a few moments. It's an Airbus A300-600 freighter. Now brace yourselves, this airplane began flying for the first time in December 1992, ladies and gentlemen. 31 years old. Let's see, and I have the flight of Jackie on flight radar in succession, a long list of airplanes coming our way, circling around the center runway. Shit is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S, here we go. Hey, and if I'm not mistaken, Delano is also coming this way and will be taking off sooner. United Flight 21, going to Houston. Because if that is the case, then Delano is in that very airplane we are now seeing. Delano, did you manage to get a seat on the left hand side, an A seat? And if so, can you tell us where you are seated? And if you are sitting on the left hand window, shine the torch, will you? And if you are in business in the front and you have 3 windows at your disposal, we expect no less than 3 torches. Yunus set the bar. Now, Alvin, thank you for your super sticker. Also, totally unnecessary, a banana. Cheers, mate. You know you don't have to. Doing more than enough as a moderator as it is already. Right, I know he was on the right hand side, Joel, but I thought he also mentioned that he was able to switch seats. I'm just asking to double check if he succeeded in it. Couldn't switch. Oh, I thought he could switch, but couldn't switch. Okay, unfortunate. Well, can we see a light in business from this great distance? That's the question. No, stupid mother ducker. Yeah, this is against all odds. This is impossible for us to see. 400 times digital zoom. Right. United Airlines Flight 21 outbound to Houston, Texas. 777-200 ER, 24 years old, first flight November 1999. Let's look and listen. Now after Jackie has taken off, I am going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. The last airplane of the day is going to be the KLM to Billund with Jackie on it. Seat 3A. Wasn't it? The very front of the airplane. Well, I suppose if you're 24 years old like this bird, you are allowed to smoke, but it seems that Duckfest is coming this way, or at least slowly but surely the party is moving southward. Hey Martinair, goedemiddag kerel. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Duckfest taking place just north of me. Now K3 has parked his fat ass right in front of us. Hope he's watching the stream. There's a few seconds delay, so... Oh! Is he moving or is he just getting closer by? Funny. Right, coming this way. Going to Malaga. KLM flight 1039, 737-700. Yeah, he's moving again. PHBGH. 14 years old, first flight November 2009, and look at that Cathay Pacific in the background. The 1000. Well, I'm having a blast, they're having a blast, I hope you guys are having a blast too. As the Cathay Pacific A350 1000 is lining up, going to go to Hong Kong in a few moments, flight 270, 5-year-old airplane, first flight June 2018. Jackie has also arrived over here. It's part of the platform area. Delta A330neo to Minneapolis, lining up behind it. And Jackie will not be cutting in line. That is not good news for us because it means his flight will probably be high in the sky already once it passes us by. It's this Embraer 190 to Billund. A couple of airplanes are preceding it. 737. KLM 737 rental. Delta Airlines Flight 163 now taking off. A330-900 or Neo going to Minneapolis, Minnesota. 4 years old this one. First flight March 2020. Well, I see that there are two more big birds immediately behind Jackie's airplane, so I will stick around for those two, which means that this 777-200 to Calgary is going to be the very last airplane of the day. Oh no, there are more heavies coming. Yeah, I have to wrap it up at some point. This is a Transavia airplane flying for KLM, going to Manchester as KLM Flight 1075 737-700, 21 years old, first flight in February 2003. Right, well, this is something we don't want to see with the flight to Billund. Oh. First we're going to see a line cutter by the looks of it. KLM Flight 1213 going to Rovaniemi. A 737-900, 22 years old, first flight August 2001. Now let's see. KLM flight 1575 going to Athens up next. 737-800, 12 years old, first flight May 2011. And our moderator is on board the airplane you see in the background. Going to Billund. KLM flight 1345. Front part of the airplane, left hand side. Look there to see possibly a torch, a light. Right, let's see. Bon voyage, Jackie. That first of all. KLM flight 1345, Embraer 190 going to Billund, 14-year-old airplane, first flight January 2010, and on board our moderator Jackie. In the meantime, there's a whole slew of heavies forming a whole queue. Right, let's see where it goes. Oh dear. Well, you guys tell me if you saw something. I had to look on a little screen and I didn't see anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't there to be seen, but in the heat of the moment, for me, it was impossible to see. You guys did see it? Excellent, cool. Happy New Year. So the ducks celebrating their duck fest. And the bird controller is celebrating along with them, setting off some fireworks. Right, KLM flight 611 going to Chicago O'Hare. It is a 7879 Dreamliner going to Chicago. 7 years old, first flight August 2016. Okay, you guys did see it, excellent. Very curious to see the replay at home. Right, so let's see, there are 3 more heavies over here. 2 A330s, 1 triple. Those are going to be the last airplanes. They're already here. So we might as well go out with a bang. KLM flight 677 up next, going to Calgary. 777-200. 17 years old, first flight January 2007. And Jackie can indeed be a name for a female, but this Jackie is in fact a male. But I get the confusion. I also know a female named Jackie, so... Was there also a character in that 70s show or something that was called Jackie? More growling. Helicopter Bird, Helicopter Kestrel has also returned. bit higher vantage point than earlier. And hands are off the camera once again. Well, just zoom in a little bit more. Right. The penultimate airplane of the day. KLM Flight 765. Going to Oranjestad, Aruba. A330-200. Another 17-year-old airplane. First flight April 2006. Few people are already signing off. Well, goodbye to you. I am going to wrap up after this and the next airplane though. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around for 5 more minutes. Catch the last 2 A330s to Canada and to the Caribbean. Beginning with the one going to the Caribbean. Now! If the weather will allow me to, I will go out again tomorrow for another live stream. It was Stranger, I believe, it was, that mentioned that he saw rain was not expected before 2 o'clock tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. If that's the case, count on me being out for another stream tomorrow morning. If it does turn out that tomorrow is going to be a rainy day all day, then unfortunately Monday will be another day for me. If the weather will allow me to go out. Our last airplane lining up right now, ready to come towards us in a minute, is KLM Flight 681 going to Vancouver. 777, no, that's left of me. Was also looking. I think that's a Qatar triple that just took off. This is an A330-200. 18 years old, first flight October 2005. You guys can already guess that one of the first things I will do once I get home is make me some coffee. Lord knows I need it. My English is starting to fail. Cracks in the facade. With the soothing quacking of Duckfest 2024 in the background, and the ducks as well, and the A330, it is time to end. Thank you all so much for watching again. I hope you guys had as much fun as I had. As I said, if the weather is good, I will try to go out again tomorrow morning, but I'm not sure yet. Earlier forecast said rain all day, so I'm still a bit cautious with saying whether or not I am going to go out tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then hopefully on Monday. The weather for Monday should be better regardless. Hope to see you then. If not, then hopefully during another live stream sometime soon. Thank you all so much for watching again. If you like what you saw but you haven't added to the number of likes yet, please add a like. Make sure this content gets spread to other aviation fans more easily. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams. For now, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks everyone for the support once again, for the gifted memberships, for the memberships, the super chats and the super stickers, the PayPal donations and the merch store purchases. Thank you all so much. Your support is what keeps this channel going, and this channel would not be where it is already without you guys, so thank you all so much. Moderators, once again, thank you for all you've done. to keep the chat friendly and accessible. I'm going to say thank you for now. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.